Greetings, people of the internet. This is Cardiacs, and today is another video. Today's video is actually kind of a surprise commission in terms of the client, my friend Ginger, wanted to be surprised. So I couldn't send her any updates, and I wasn't hanging out in her room trying to do this in front of her. So pretty much everything I did, aside from the initial sketch, because it was in a sketchbook, she didn't know about. She kept asking me questions though, because she wanted to see it, but she of course didn't have me show her until I went to her house last night to do another commission. So I was a little bit alone on this one, and I was quite a bit nervous because I've never really done that before, at least as far as Ginger's concerned. She's always sending or always requesting that I send her updates for certain things, and I happily oblige. I don't mind doing that. But with her lack of internet, she has to steal her sister's or her dad's phone because her phone does not do the internet. She actually has a flip phone, which is, I mean, if you only do calls and texts, and it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It'll do what you want. But if you want to be sent updates of a commission, then I don't think flip phones actually get pictures that way. I don't know. It's been ages since I've had one myself. But mine, I know, never actually got one. Like, it never got pictures. Anyway, the idea for this is that these characters are Ginger's version of Beauty and the Beast. So I decided that I would try and emulate the big tale as old as time dance scene in the movie and attempt to um, use maybe the color concept, the color scheme, the color or something from that scene. Because in that scene, I noticed it's mostly yellows and blues with a little bit of green, I think, here and there, and some orange, I think. I don't remember exactly. I didn't really look that hard at it. Anyway, so Becca, the one on the right, who is smiling very wide, is going to be yellow, very bright yellow. And Theron, the one on the left, is going to be, well, black, but she's going to have an undertone of blue, so she'll match the beast. The background, I kind of wanted to make it yellow as well, but I also wanted the characters to pop out, so I did it as a forest scene with some yellow highlights and stuff to kind of give that effect, but it wasn't quite as bright and as yellow as the original inspirational picture I used, and Cat has appeared. It is clockwork. Hello, Kitty. What was I saying? I don't remember. Something about the color scheme. I think that thought had finished. Um, with Becca, I did struggle with her arm quite a bit because the size and the shape just didn't look right, so I kept just tweaking it and tweaking it, driving myself just a little bit crazy, and eventually decided on a simple outstretched pose, and I really liked how the hand came out with that outstretchedness like I'm doing right now. Although I did have to resize the hand because it did look a bit too large. For some reason, trying to figure out the proportions with Becca in this illustration just was really difficult. I don't know. Anyway, so I made a mood board with the program, I guess, called Pure Ref. No, nothing in between. It's just Pure Ref, if you want to look it up. REF, as in reference. And I like it a lot. I use it before. Anyway, I chose these pictures not so much for reference, but just as a kind of uh, just something to help me figure out the colors and everything. I did take a couple of the ideas from the pictures on the right, mostly in terms of how to layer the trees. Anyway, uh, there's one more thing that I was thinking about that threw me for a loop yesterday when I finally showed Ginger this one. I was given her dad's cell phone number, so I saved it in my phone. And she, at the end of the night, she asked me to send this one and the one I did for her last night to her dad's phone. So I tried that, but it didn't go through. So I tried to look through and see what was wrong, and she texted me with her dad's phone to be sure that it worked that way, and then I compared the numbers. And at least one of the digits was off. Oops. So I sent an unsuspecting poor soul 2 illustrations, one of which was very bloody and action-y, and then this one, which has an LGBT uh, situation. So I was thinking, oh god, is this number even attached to somebody? Will they freak out, or will I don't know. So I texted wrong number, oops, and then the person replied, actually, saying, no, right number, send more. And I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, oh my god, did this just happen? Does someone actually want to see more of my artwork? And I was just thinking, like, oh god, is this sorry, someone who wants to like steal my stuff? Because everything I showed sent by accident was signed, but I was just worried that maybe they'd find a way to remove the signatures. However, we kept messaging back and forth, and Ginger gave me permission to send her other commissions I've done for her to this person. And we just kind of kept chatting, and it was very shocking, honestly, because whenever I accidentally send somebody something like that, I'd expect someone to be on the other end who is not interested at all in the content. And I kind of grew up with my mom, instead of saying that she liked something because it was executed well, she would comment on the content. So if I drew a monster or something, instead of saying that the anatomy or whatever was good, she'd say, ew, it's a monster. So I was thinking that this person wouldn't be able to get past the content, but however, apparently, this person is a self-proclaimed art enthusiast. So, wow. I was quite delightfully surprised, and I could not stop laughing. Because this was such a wonderful moment in which I got to be pleasantly surprised by something I was worried about. At least so far. I haven't heard back from said person since last night, so I'm kind of wondering how this will uh, develop. I guess I'll have to uh, update it as things go on in terms of my videos, I guess. So Ginger kept reminding me, saying that it's not just she and her father who love my artwork so much, it's also random people who like it as well. So they're not telling me they like my stuff just because they know me and they like me, but they're saying they like it because they actually like it. And her father especially seems to think that I can get a job with Disney and Pixar and all those other fancy animation um, companies. And I've, of course, thought of doing that, but I feel like I would have to move to California in order to get a kind of job like that. I don't know, though, because I haven't really ever researched it. And the way I am living right now, I can't possibly move across the country. I do not live anywhere near California. I, of course, would love a job in character design, if nothing else, but I also really like the idea of being able to draw for me, drawing what I want to be able to draw and not having to draw concepts for something I don't entirely care about. It's like school, for instance. I always loved reading, but whenever I had to do a book report, I couldn't make myself do it. So I would read books and books upon books, just stacks of them while I was in high school and before, but whenever I had to do a book report, I couldn't get myself to read the book I chose, even if I was really interested in it. I really don't like being forced to do something that I'm just not really wanting to do. One of the problems I have with doing commissions is that I have a bit of a hard time trying to get them done in a fast pace. I mean, I've heard some horror stories, people saying that they've commissioned an artist and that they either never get it or it just takes a really long time. And yeah, I understand that life can make it a little bit difficult, and sometimes I make those excuses too. But you made a promise, and unlike doing a book report, you should do a commission if you say that you're going to. If you don't, then that ruins your reputation, and you won't become an artist successfully anyway if people won't come to you for a commission because you ruined your own reputation. So, with that, I've been a little down on myself as well because doing the surprise illustration for Ginger took longer than I wanted to, mostly because my eyes and my head were not really cooperating. My eyes are really sensitive, so when I stare at the computer for so long, they get really watery, I guess, and itchy, and I just don't like it. But I also had a headache, and I'm thankfully the kind of person who doesn't often have a headache, and I just wanted to relax. Thankfully, Ginger was very understanding, but I don't want to have to make excuses like that. So going forward, I would like to hopefully get a commission done within a week of um, being commissioned, I guess. I don't know how well it's going to go because I know life sometimes will knock you out of your plans. But of course, I don't want to do up to 6 months or something, which of course would be easy for me to do because I have a terrible memory. But I'm not going to school at the moment. I took off this semester because I'm just tired of going to school for something I want to do, but having to take classes that have absolutely nothing to do with my major. I was going to a community college, of course, and my major was art. And I thought, this is a good step. I can learn some things before I actually start doing commissions. But I had to do commissions beforehand so I could actually have some experience. Because guess what? Even the art classes I did have were counted as electives. Tell me how that makes sense. Please, I don't understand. I know it's a humanities thing, and humanity classes are typically electives, but what about the students who actually have those humanity classes as their major? Why do they only count as electives? Shouldn't they actually count as a required credit instead of something that's optional? I don't know, it's been bothering me a lot lately, and I'm just absolutely tired of spending so much money on classes that I probably won't ever need again, because I'm forced to take a science class, and I already took geology, and I just have a hard time trying to keep up with geology. I thought at first it would be fun because I like Steven Universe, and I thought maybe recognizing the names of the gems would be fun, but all of the technicalities of it threw me off, and I don't really understand a lot of it. Anyway, I either have to take geology again for a science class which has nothing to do with artwork, or I can just stop going. For now, I think I've decided to stop going. So thank you for watching. Bye!